1 Chronicles 12. Fighting men join David. Some fighting men came to David at Ziklag. They were among those who helped him in battle. David had been forced to hide from Saul, the son of Kish. The men were armed with bows. They were able to shoot arrows or throw stones from a sling with either hand. They were relatives of Saul from the tribe of Benjamin. Here is a list of them. Their chief Ahiezer and Joash, the sons of Shema, the Gibbethite. Jeziel and Pelet, the sons of Azameth. Barak. Jehu from Anathoth. Ishmaiah the Gibeonite, who was a mighty man among the 30 and a leader of the 30. Jeremiah. Jahaziel. Johanan. Jozabad from Gedera. Eluzai. Jerimoth. Beliah. Sheremiah. Shephatiah the Heraphite. The Korahites Elkanan, Ishahiah, Azarel, Jozer, and Jashobeam. Jolah and Zebediah, the sons of Joham from Gedor. Some men of Gad went over to David's side at his usual place of safety in the desert. They were brave fighting men. They were ready for battle. They were able to use shields and spears. Their faces were like the faces of lions. They could run as fast as antelopes in the mountains. Ezer was their chief. Obadiah was next in command. Eliab was the third. Mishmanah was the fourth. Jeremiah was the fifth. Attai was sixth. Eliel was seventh. Johanan was eighth. Elzabad was ninth. Jeremiah was 10th. And Machbanai was the 11th. All of those men of Gad were army commanders. The least important of them was equal to 100 men. The most important was equal to 1,000. They went across the Jordan River when it was flowing over its banks. That happened in the first month of spring. They chased away everyone who lived in the valleys. They chased them away from the east and the west sides of the river. Some men of the territories of Benjamin and Judah also came to David at his usual place of safety. David went out to meet them. He said to them, "Have you come to me in peace? Have you come to help me? If you have, I'm ready to have you join me. But suppose you have come to hand me over to my enemies, when I haven't even harmed anyone. Then may the God of our people see it and judge you." The Spirit of God came down on Amasai. He was the chief of the 30. He said, "David, we belong to you. Son of Jesse, we're on your side. May you have great success. May those who help you also have success. Your God will help you." So David welcomed them. He made them leaders in his army. Some men of Manasseh went over to David's side when he marched out with the Philistines to fight against Saul. But David and his men didn't help the Philistines. That's because after all of the Philistine rulers had discussed the matter, they sent him away. They said, "Suppose he deserts to his master Saul, then our heads will be cut off." So David went to Ziklag. Here are the men of Manasseh who went over to his side. They were Adnah, Jozabad, Jediel, Michael, Jozabad, Elihu, and Zilethai. They were leaders of companies of 1,000 men in Manasseh. They helped David fight against enemy armies. All of the men of Manasseh were brave fighting men. They were commanders in David's army. Day after day, men came to help him. Soon he had a large army. It was like the army of God. Other fighting men joined David at Hebron. Large numbers of men came to David at Hebron. They were prepared for battle. They came to hand Saul's kingdom over to him, just as the Lord had said. Here are the numbers of men who came. The men from Judah carried shields and spears. They were prepared for battle. The total number of them was 6,800. The fighting men from Simeon were ready for battle. The total number of them was 7,100. The total number of men from Levi was 4,600. They included Jehoiada. He was the leader of the family of Aaron. He came with 3,700 men. They also included Zadok. He was a brave young fighter. He came with 22 officers from his family. The men from Benjamin were Saul's relatives. Most of them had remained faithful to Saul's family until that time. The total number of them was 3,000. The men from Ephraim were brave fighting men. They were famous in their own family groups. The total number of them was 20,800. The men from half of the tribe of Manasseh had been chosen by name to come and make David king. The total number of them was 18,000. The men from Issachar understood what was going on at that time. They knew what Israel should do. The total number of their chiefs was 200. They came with all of their relatives who were under their command. The men from Zebulun knew how to fight well. That's because they had done it many times before. They were prepared for battle. They had every kind of weapon. They came to help David with their whole heart. The total number of them was 50,000. The total number of officers from Naphtali was 1,000. They came with 37,000 men who carried shields and spears. The men from Dan were ready to battle. The total number of them was 28,600. The men from Asher knew how to fight well. That's because they had done it many times before. They were prepared for battle. The total number of them was 40,000. The men from the tribes of Reuben and Gad and half of the tribe of Manasseh were armed with every kind of weapon. The men came from the east side of the Jordan River. The total number of them was 120,000. All of those fighting men offered to serve in the army. Before they came to Hebron, they had agreed completely to make David king over all of the people of Israel. All of the rest of the people also agreed to make David king. The men spent 3 days there with David. They ate and drank what their families had given them. Their neighbors also brought food. They brought it in on donkeys, camels, mules, and oxen. They came from as far as the territories of Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali. There was plenty of flour, fig cakes, raisin cakes, wine, olive oil, cattle, and sheep. The people of Israel bought all of those things because they were so happy.